I'll make you.
It is now streaming live.
Ooh.
Let me find you, Allison, and make you a co-host. Okay, there you go.
Great.
And if anybody else has something they want to show, I can make them a co-host as well. So they can show, you know, if they have drawings or letters they want to show.
Okay, we're recording.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so,
I still have 6:59, Sharon.
yeah.
Oh, you're right.
6:59.
Up there.
Just turned 7.
And I don't see Margaret, right? And I don't see Dave, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I think Verizon says it's 7 o'clock. All right, well, let's see. It is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the first of a set of Zoom meetings for the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. Today is Monday, the 13th of April, 2020. Again, this is the first time we're going to be doing this on Zoom, so well, I'll be looking for all the help I can get to make sure this works for everyone. I want to say let me introduce everybody. First, we have the members of the commission that are here. Dr. John Donovan, who is a regular member, Mr. Michael Neustadt, who is a regular member, Mr. Mark Mulvaney, who is our vice chairman, and then also we have Bob Hudeman, who is a regular member, and I see Margaret has joined. So welcome, Mark. So let's see. I think so. Margaret, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we have all 5 regular members here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you will just be an alternate today. You will not be a voting member. Also with us is Alice Dew, who is the Wetlands Enforcement Officer. And also we have Allison Kennedy, who is our recording secretary. So I think I got that right. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sounds right.
And again, just a special thanks to the land use office. Come up with a meeting like this doesn't just happen, without a lot of planning. So I just want to thank Alice and Allison. And I know and Diane, who helped put the meeting agenda together. I know these guys have done an awful lot of work, in the background and from home, and nothing is easy these days. And again, I appreciate the support from the Selectman's office, who very early on was shipping me information, I think, to all the commission chairmen about and I lost count of all the executive orders, that relate to this. So, and again, I know Alice I talked to her last week about the process, and I'm just very grateful to her in particular for, helping sort through all of this. So again, we convene the meeting, roll call. I guess we can start with wetlands enforcement, Alice.
Actually, there hasn't been any change. I was not able to talk to Ari about Old Grays. I don't have it in front of me actually, but there haven't been any change on any of them, with the exception of we will be discussing 24 Old New Milford Road, and they did submit a plan for us.
Okay. All right. Anything from the members about anything that you have seen in town? I hope nobody has a tree across their driveway, by the way. That really was quite a storm today.
Yeah, we had a question about in Candlewood Shores, down by the cove as you first come in. They've marked trees, about a dozen trees or so, with red tape and evidently a plan and cutting them down. I don't know what's happening with that. And there's other trees that have green on. I don't know what the story.
Yeah, your wife asked, and Scalzo Property Management got back to her on why they were marked. They weren't for cutting. Let me see if I can find the
I thought
email.
the green was pruning and the other were cutting down. That's what I was afraid of. The red tag scared me.
I'll have to look at the email he sent. I can look that up while you guys
Okay.
continue.
All right, no problem.
I'll get back to you on that.
Oh, okay, well, we.
Was it below the 440 line by any chance?
Well, it's right down by the, it's like 5 feet above the cove, if not less than that. The cove when you first come into Candlewood Shores, so
Okay.
that's why.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
All right.
okay.
All right. Yeah, I haven't been over it.
You know, I think, Don, that you mentioned, I think I did see them yesterday. I was in Candlewood Shores, and it is, it's just as you turn left, and there's probably 10 or 15 trees, and they
Yeah.
have like,
some are green and
Yeah.
some are red.
yeah, like plastic, you know, tape that you might
Yeah.
mark building corner with, or a lot line, or a wetlands flagging. It's that kind of tape wrapped around a whole pile of them.
Yeah, about a dozen trees or more. I don't know, a lot. I just hope they're not cutting them down. I don't. They can't do that, can they?
Well, I'll look
No.
for it while you guys continue.
Okay, well,
I'll get back to you on that.
No, wait. I think the next thing we're gonna talk about, I think, Alice, we're gonna need you, so,
Okay.
you want to just wait till the end of the meeting?
Yeah, sure, not no problem.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's come back to that. Let me write that down.
Okay.
Candlewood Shores. Okay, so we will come back to that. So, let's see. So we have old business. We have, the first item is 4A. It is 45 Obtuse Rocks Road. It's activity number W-19-68. It's the Southern Way subdivision. This is the one when we last met. There was a public hearing, and we closed it that day on March 19th or March 9th. Excuse me. So we have. I think Alice got a note today from the. I think from the applicant's agent, from Artel Engineering.
Mhm.
So this came today, it's at 10:12, Monday, the 13th of April, 2020, and the note is to Alice and Diane. And so attached, please find a withdrawal letter for tonight's meeting for 45 Obtuse Rocks Road. The email goes on, I'm requesting that the commission withdraw the work associated with the proposed subdivision, but consider approving the proposed work associated with the existing home site only. She goes on to say she can discuss it with them further tonight. So that is the gist of the email. And the letter, again, it's on Artel Engineering Group stationery. It is dated today. It's addressed to me. And the letter goes on to say, Dear Ms. Fox and all inland wetlands commissioners, by virtue of this letter, we respectfully withdraw the application for the work associated with the above referenced proposed subdivision, 45 Obtuse Rocks Roads, W-19-68. Based on the concerns voiced by the commissioners throughout the application review process, we propose to eliminate all work associated with the subdivision and instead would like the commission to grant approval of the proposed work associated with the existing home site. At this time, the only disturbance within the upland review area for the project is in the proposed septic area. Enclosed for your convenience is an updated plan for your consideration. Please feel free to contact us. Sincerely, Michelle Marcoli from Artel. So, I talked to Diane today about this, and I also talked to Tom Beecher about it. I was talking to Tom actually about the time the letter came in. And I think, and Alice, you helped me out here, but I think the letter is actually, we can look at it in two parts. I think the first part is the applicant is clearly withdrawing the, the application. And I said in my conversation with Tom, he agreed with that, and I think, Alice, that's what I see. So we do not, there's no reason to make a decision about this, about the application, because the applicant has withdrawn it.
Don't you have to make a motion to accept the withdrawal?
I think we will.
I'd like to make,
Yeah, I think we will. So and then we'll go on to part 2 of
Yeah.
the letter. So if someone want to make a motion to accept the withdrawal?
I'll make a motion to withdraw.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion to,
Bob? And a
I'd like to
second?
make a motion to, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw, 45 Apple Road, the application.
I can second that.
I think you're making a motion to accept the withdrawal.
Correct. To accept the withdrawal.
And I got a second from
Michael,
Michael. Okay. All right. Any discussion on the motion to accept the notice of withdrawal by the applicant?
Excuse me, I didn't.
I'm sorry, Bob?
I didn't say
All right.
anything.
Okay, sorry. Okay, all those in favor to accept the withdrawal by the applicant signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries unanimous.
Chairman
Okay.
Fox,
Yes,
I might make a suggestion that you have us raise our hand with our verbal vote. So there's a better record of who votes yes and no, because it gets very, when everybody talks at once, it gets hard to hear who says what.
oh, okay. Well, we can call the vote. We can do that.
Well, that was
All right,
unanimous. I agree, but if they're not, we won't, in the future, maybe we do a voice and hand vote.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. We can also do a roll call too. We can do that as well. We could do that. I don't know, does it? Okay, sure, okay.
It passed.
Do you want to, does anybody want to go through a roll call, or do you want to do hands up, or is everybody satisfied with what we did?
That was fine.
I was merely
That's
suggesting it for the future.
Okay, good point.
Hands
Hopefully
up
not
is
too
good
much of a
for me,
feature.
'cause I can see all of you, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh, okay. All right, so on to the second point, or the second item that is in that letter. Again, they are submitting a drawing and they're requesting, our consideration of it. My reading, and I talked to Tom about it as well, and Alice, again, you jump in here as soon as I'm done. We can't accept an application we can't accept any more new content-related data. We can accept process data like we did, but no content data for a public hearing that is closed. So we cannot consider their document as a part of the public hearing, again, which is closed.
Correct.
We would need to consider this as a part of a new application.
Correct. And
That's my that's my conversation with Tom. I'm going to give everybody a chance to chime in a second. Alice, can you want to add anything to that, or did I get something wrong?
I let Michelle know that as well from Artel, that she would need to reapply. And then we were going to, you guys can discuss what fee, if you want to waive any fee or you don't, you can discuss that as well for reapplicate, well, for a new application for the same property.
Okay. Let me turn it over to my commissioners. Comments, questions?
I do have a comment on her letter and the plans.
Yep.
The letter indicated that with the new proposal, the only effect on the upland review area would be the septic. However, if you look closely to the plan, there are two other things that would be within the upland review area. Part of the driveway, which I understand is to be paved, is in the review area, as well as the removal of the existing house. A small part of it is in the upland review area. So if they do put in another application, it should mention both the septic, the driveway, and the removal of the house, at least to the extent that they do go into the upland review area.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I wouldn't see a point in us even considering or talking about this because it needs a new application.
Mm-hmm.
We can't talk about a withdrawn application. Second thing I'd like to ask, getting a lot of noise, background noise from whoever ends in 819. So if you're not speaking or possibly a member of the public, if you could maybe mute your phone, that might help us. Thank you. So that was all I had to say. Nothing to consider here.
Yeah, that's right. We do not like, but I appreciate Michael taking a quick look at the, at the plan. So, I said any other questions? So I think that is the right step in the process. Alice has started it to get an application. I don't know, we can think about what if anything, we might want to do about the fees once we get an application. I don't know necessarily it's worth, and we can deal with that, Alice, once we get here. I mean, there's certainly, Alice followed on, I think you guys all saw the note. Yeah, just for your thinking, right? There is, $30 for a lead. I mean, the total fees are related to, labor and actually expenses that the town has to put out for. I mean, town has to write a check for the legal notice. That's about $30. The state takes their piece. That's about $60. And then there are, I think you've calculated, there is a
Short form fee.
there's a short
You said
form
it's
fee,
short
yes,
form? Right,
which is $150.
correct.
Right, so there's certainly money that leaves the town, at least the money for the notice and the state, and then $150. And again, there is work that the town has to do to get the stuff and make copies, right? Although, make copies or file it and get the right materials eventually into the town archive. So I don't think we have to make that decision tonight.
The only hard part is because we do all of this now online, in order to accept the application, they have to pay the fee.
Well, thank you for that. So maybe we do
Sure.
have to make a decision. Well, let me ask a funny question. Is the website, does the website have the functionality to have partial fees?
Yes, we can change the fees.
We can make it lower, not higher, correct?
We could go either way.
Oh,
We can edit it.
Uh-huh, interesting, okay.
I'm not sure our
Alright,
charter
well,
would allow us to raise the fees.
No, I think Bob was just asking, literally what we can do with the system.
Okay, I just want to be clear, as a commission and town employee, we can't arbitrarily raise fees on people.
No.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
All right, well, if we have to do that, here's my thought, and then we'll turn it over to everyone. I mean, I said, the town's gotta write a check for $30. I mean, they've gotta cover that.
Yep.
The state needs $60, that's $90,
Split the difference.
Well, that's
Yeah,
90,
split the
and then the
difference.
town, the town has fees, which normally would be $150. So the whole deal is, if I do my arithmetic right here,
240.
150 plus 3,180 is 240. So, I mean, I really am not sure what I can't think of any real reason, to give them, a break on, I personally can't think of a reason to give them a break on the fees. I mean, sometimes we do it because they didn't, get enough information together, or circumstances got away from them. I mean, here, the process went the way it normally does, and it is their decision, to, come up with another plan. So that's my opinion, but let me turn it over to, and now I can turn it over to, to everyone else, how they feel. I don't know if guys want to be called individually or just break in and see how everybody feels about this.
Best if you call us out.
All right, well, in no particular order here. John, I don't know if you've got want to voice an opinion on the fees. Again, it would be $240, and that would be 100% of the fees due.
That's probably okay to keep it as Rossi.
Michael?
I have a question. I mean, in the past, we've allowed applicants to change their application during our discussion. Is the reason this is being treated differently that there was a public hearing and the public hearing is closed, so we can't make any changes? Is that why we have to do this way?
Essentially, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought you said, but I wanted to be clear. I think what we're discussing, the difference of about $90 between what the full fee would be and what was proposed, is not really a significant number for the town or for them. So I would go with the majority. I would be happy with half of or the lower amount. I don't see a huge difference between the two, but whatever the rest of the commission wants, I'd go along with.
So you're proposing going with a lower amount, is that right, Mike?
I'm saying I would be accepting of either one. I don't think the $90
Okay.
difference is significant.
Yeah, I agree with that too, yeah. I would personally go along with Sharon on that and go with the whole fee. Personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my position. John, what do you think?
Margaret?
Mark?
So,
In no particular order, I'm going to get Margaret. Margaret, you're on mute.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Didn't want to forget you get to participate in this.
Thank you.
So, Mark?
so my view is that we oftentimes, not often, it's very rare actually, but usually when someone's reapplying, we tend to waive the fees. I know this is a different case because we had a public hearing. While I would have liked to have seen this plan as a viable alternative to the plan we saw, and we could have voted on that, that's not what happened. In that mindset, I almost like a policy of something that's withdrawn, and when they have a reapplication immediately, we oftentimes waive the fee completely. I like the idea of doing half the fee instead of the total fee. And if we're going to do that, I'd like to maybe do that across the board unilaterally, not necessarily, that's my 2 cents. Do I think $90 is going to make or break a project? No. But I think in all fairness, that's the way I would look at it.
Okay. Well, again, I don't know. I got in general, the general consensus is no one felt terribly strongly that 240, which is the total fee, is unreasonable, an unreasonable fee. There was some people saying they could go either way, but I didn't hear anybody say absolutely we need to, make it $150. I didn't hear anybody say that. I heard a lot of people say they were okay with 240. That's what I heard.
Sounds right.
Okay, all right. I said, not to belabor it, but I said I think if there was something that had happened that was out of their control, and maybe there's but I didn't see that. So okay, so Alice, it's the full fee: 30 for publication, 60 for the state, and 150 for the town's processing.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, so I think that wraps up 45 Obtuse Rocks Road. All right, so the next one we have is 24 Old New Milford Road. This is that remediation plan. Just to refresh everyone's memory, this was a project. It's within the 200-foot upland review area from the lake. They had done some work. We had looked at 2 applications. This particular one was a very small, kind of a minor change to the parking. I think they changed the number of spaces they had, and I think they put some gravel in. The work had been done. They didn't think that they needed a plan, but it was brought to their attention that they did, and so they submitted the plan. And so I think we looked at it on the 9th, and so we can make a decision today, although the decision date is not till the 12th of May. So I'm okay with the plan. You know, they didn't make any significant changes and whatever. So let me just open it up for additional discussion.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. Are we talking 24 Old New Milford?
Yeah, aren't,
Okay,
Yes.
it's not, it was within 75 feet of the wetlands because that was long, that's the one he had the violation. He had cut trees in the wetland area. And a plan was submitted after the last meeting showing trees that you guys wanted to put in.
well, I completely screwed up. Everybody, for what I just said, my introduction here for 24 Old New Milford Road was completely inaccurate.
That was Candlewood Lake Road, wasn't it?
It was Candlewood Lake Road, right.
We'll
So
chalk
I
that
am
one up
very
to the virtual meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I am
Things are
very
confusing.
sorry. Yeah, so I'm very sorry to waste everybody's time. So tell me what this one is. This was the trees?
this is the, Mr. Manka had cut into the wetlands. He was clearing his property that he bought on Old New Milford Road. It's kind of near that cat doctor, the cat vet along
Oh, right.
Old New Milford.
Right.
And I can share on my screen, I think the,
That's right. Oh, that's right. And we had asked them, they would put in 6 trees, and I think we asked for more.
yeah, here's their plan.
I am so sorry, you guys.
Right there. Yeah, it has a construction sequence and all the plants that you guys had asked for.
Once we make a decision, what's the approval process, since I can't stamp any of this stuff?
Well,
That's a good question.
it is. And I don't really have an answer. Let me, I'm just going to stop sharing the screen.
Thank you.
There are a few ways we could do it. I could bring it to your house, leave it somewhere. You can drag it in, sign it, put it back out. I had John Van Nuys sign a Mylar by going to his house and waiting outside while he signed the Mylar. We can stamp it because we have the stamp, but I don't know how you initial it.
Okay, well, you've answered my question. Is I still have to find a way to sign it and stamp it,
Yeah,
and we don't want it to get too far old because our memories fail, like I did a few minutes ago. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that. I will call you. You know.
yeah, we'll
depending
figure
on
out something.
we will figure something out here. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Could excuse me, could we perhaps just talk to the attorney? It seems to me in this day and age, a lot of things, legal documents included, are signed over the internet with an email and a signature and an email that says, I accept this as my legal signature. There are also some programs that allow you to sign.
Yeah, we do have some of those and we do have them available, but I don't know if this is a case where we can do that.
When you have to sign a raised sealed document, we do it all the time. There's no electronic way to sign a raised sealed document that we've found.
I understand. I was just wondering if our attorney could weigh in on the fact that under the circumstances, we would accept a signature on an email that says, I approve of such and such raised sealed document.
I can talk to him and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that, Michael. We'll figure something out. I don't think
Sure.
it's impossible to, meet at the middle of the bridge and sign something and stamp it. So, okay, well, again, Mike, I feel terrible about screwing up what this is all about. So I'm okay with this one. I think they added the trees that we put in. So I said, I'll entertain a motion to, take some action on 24 Old New Milford Road.
I would then make a motion to approve 24 Old New Milford Road, item W-20-14, based on a drawing by, and I didn't write that down. I did look at it, but based on the drawing that was submitted,
70 Acres LLC. It's dated 3/10/20. Additional mitigation trees per board.
okay, can you take that, Allison, as he read it, add it to my motion, and to include all the usual stipulations to be effective the date after publication.
I'll second that.
Okay, so Bob seconds that. Any discussion?
I did look at everything they submitted. It's quite reasonable for what we asked for.
Okay, well, thank you, Michael. All right then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. motion
I'd like to
carries unanimously.
abstain.
Oh, all right. All right, so motion carries 4-0 to 1.
I wasn't here for the beginning of this one.
Okay. All right. All right, so motion carries 4-0 to 1. Let's see, we do not have any new business.
Sharon, I'm sorry. Just as far as this one goes, do you want to make, no, we'll keep it on the, I'm just thinking, we'll keep it on the enforcement until the work is complete?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yep. So yeah, so the notice of violation stands till the work is done. Okay, we do not have any new business. We do not have any tabled items. There was some modest, I think there were, the only correspondence was just minutes of other meetings, which is gonna get us to, if I got that right, that's gonna get us to just a review of the minutes from the March 9th meeting, which I read and I was satisfied with, so.
Can I ask a question? I know I wasn't here. Who is Kay Brennan?
Kelsey Brennan was was a member of the Wetlands Commission, but, and was appointed by the selectmen, I want to say late last year, Mark. She hadn't been able to make any of the meetings, and I think our understanding was that she resigned her alternate position.
Just
Yes.
wanted to make sure because we didn't note her today. Thank you.
All right, any other comments about the minutes? Anybody want to entertain? I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of March 9th, 2020 meeting as submitted.
I'll second.
Okay, John seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm going to have an abstention, I think.
Aye.
All right, so the motion carries 4-0 with Mark abstaining because he was not at the meeting. All right, informal discussion.
And I didn't watch it. I know that I could watch it and vote on it, but I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, okay. I said, any informal discussion of anything about including the process about Zoom meetings?
I have,
Anybody want to run?
I have one comment I wanted to make about a situation. The new assisted living place on 291 Federal had quite a bit of runoff today. It isn't within wetlands or the upland review area, but apparently there's a pipe that goes under the road from near where they are. Silt was running down, went into the pipe and goes back behind 304 Federal into a pond. And 304 Federal happens to have Artel Engineering in it, and Michelle told me about it, that there was a lot of turbidity in the pond behind their place. So we called the contractor. He immediately went to stop the flow. And they're going to do a lot more work on it tomorrow. So I'm surprised DOT hasn't said anything yet, because it's really their catch basin. But, you know, it was unfortunately something that happened, and it will settle. And we found the source of the problem. So I think it'll be okay. But if anybody saw a lot of runoff out there, that's what it was.
Do you know what was the cause of it? They just blocked up something, or?
I don't think they had a silt sack in the catch basin in front of the project, because it was DOT catch basin. They still should have. I don't know why it wasn't.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Anything else from any of the commissioners? Well, again, I think
John wanted to talk about trees at the shore. We were coming back to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here's the story. This is what I wrote to John's wife. The property, it's 15 Candlewood Shores. It's owned by Candlewood Shores Tax District. It is not within 440 feet, within the 440 foot elevation. And the entire property is, I said, because the property is within 200 feet of the lake and wetlands, anyone cutting trees would need a wetland permit. I forwarded it to Bob Dolan, who is the compliance officer for the tax district. And he got back to Mrs. Donovan and said, in response to your question about the colored tape on the trees at the entrance of Candlewood Shores, the colored tape was placed to signify that the district received a proposal for pruning, which is green tape, and removal, pink, of various trees. However, there's been no decisions, and they are aware that they will need to get a wetlands permit if they go ahead with it. So that's the story.
It's probably 15 trees they were going to take down. No, a lot.
They'd have to get a wetlands permit before
Yeah.
they do it, yeah.
All right, that's good.
All right, thank you for that, John. And thank you to your wife.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think we are on, like I said, from the schedule, we've got, our next meeting is
April 27th.
the 27th?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that going to be virtual too? I guess it will be.
I think so. Yep, and then I guess, do we get new numbers, Alice?
No, we can use this as a recurring number.
Okay,
I would ask you to resend that same email out, you know, an hour before the meeting, so that we, or, you know, sometime that afternoon, so it's easy for us to find and click on.
Sure, and it will be, again, posted for the town residents on the website, so
Okay.
they can join in if they wish.
Thank you. Have we ever had a meeting get over at 7:38? Maybe we
No.
should talk about riparian buffers.
but it said we've had them shorter, but never at 7:38,
We've had
that I can
shorter than
recall.
Well, if somebody wants to tell a story or sing a song,
We could talk about riparian buffers.
we could.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to, we're still gonna do those, but not today.
Yeah, I'm happy that we're doing this because it gives me something to look forward to. On Mondays, the only day of the week I know what it is, because they all go to church on Sundays. So I have no idea what day of the week is until a garbage man goes by in the morning on Mondays. I went to the post office 2 days ago to mail, or 3 days ago to mail something for my grandchildren. But otherwise, I have no idea what day of the week. I haven't been out of this place for 4 weeks. 4 weeks we stayed in with it. I just walked down with my dog, could drive her down the hill and walk her 3 times a day down at the park. Otherwise, and then on my lawn. But she's out 6 times a day, I think, my dog. That's my life.
Well, I'm still working every day of the week, so.
I have to say, there are a lot of people out there working, and my thanks to the staff at Town Hall and just who have helped get our commission, keep our commission going with this meeting and all the things that the town hall staff is doing to keep our town going. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, you're here on that. And we know there's a lot of commissions doing, some pretty complicated work right now, so. All righty, if there isn't anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All right, Mark made it. I heard Bob second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, aye. All right, any opposed? All right, everyone, thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Hey,
June 27th.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I like it.